Alright guys, I am on my way to my first Nexus Night, but real quick before I head over there, I'm going to stop by Wizards Isolum to see if I can pick up some singles. Where I'm playing Nexus Night, they do have singles, but they don't have a huge selection. So Wizards, to my knowledge, is the only place, I could be wrong, it's one of the few places here in Tulsa that has a good selection of singles. So hopefully I can pick up some cards before Nexus Night, because I could honestly use them for my Fiora deck, but I'll also pick up something for my Viktor deck. Alright, stay tuned. Okay, so wrong information, or maybe the times, just poor timing. I was told that they are all out of singles for both Riftbound and Swoop. So that's unfortunate, but I did an impulse buy. I've been looking at something and they did have it. So got that. Oh my god, I'm spending too much money on Swoop. It's supposed to be just something, but I am spending money on it. And besides that, I also picked up a couple of these. So we'll rip them later. I'm kind of mad at myself for having no self-control and just buying. And you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm already here, so I might as well. But with that said, I could have bought a couple of seals, you know, seals of power or something for Riftbound, because fucking seals are so expensive. Anyways, I have some time. I'm probably gonna go grab some coffee before I head over to Dice Addiction, and that's where I'm going for my Nexus Night. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep coming to these Nexus Nights. One, because I'm moving, so definitely once I move, I won't be coming here, sadly. And two, it's on a Monday. Their Nexus Night is Mondays. There is a Tuesday Nexus Night at a different game shop at Onkers, but it's a little bit further than Dice Addiction for me. Dice Addiction is about 22 minutes, while Onkers Island is basically 30 minutes. It's 29 minutes. So it's about a 7-minute difference, but it's on a Tuesday, and that's typically the days I play SWU over at Tabletop. Not Tabletop, Top Deck. And then, man, if I could go Mondays, play Nexus, Riftbound, and then Tuesdays, play SWU, and then Thursdays I have guitar practice. Man, my wife's gonna hate me because I'm gonna be neglecting her, because my schedule will be so busy that I guess date nights will be like on a Wednesday or Friday. Anyways, happy wife, happy life. So I gotta make sure I make time for her. Anyways, like I said, time to go grab some coffee. Alright, so we are in the back side of Dice Addiction. The front side, there is parking on the front side of the building, but there's less parking and it is a pain in the ass to get into. So this back side is easier. And here we are. So actually, I did not go 0 and 2 and 1. It was actually 1 and 2, and that was because I got a bye. Let's go check out what I played. All right, so this Fiora deck is slightly different from my first iteration. What I did was take out the Blade of the Ruin King and the 2 Death Grip cards. I replaced it with, I believe, Rally the Troops and Zing Zhao. And I don't know what else. I can't think right now. But the first match was with against a Lucian, and actually on Dice Addiction's YouTube channel. I didn't know they had a YouTube channel, but they do. And at the game shop, they actually have one table set up for live streaming during game nights. And my first match was actually on that table, so I thought that was pretty cool. So you could watch that game play out on tubes, and I'll actually link that on it in the description below. Um, so yeah, the first match with Lucian, it was a real close match. But I lost both rounds, but both rounds were very, very, very close. And what I found out was that I should have included Yone in this deck because they played Ashan, and with Ashan, they just kept stealing my gear and keeping him in the back line. So I had no answers to that. I did. I don't know. I don't think I played Hidden Blade. Maybe I did play Hidden Blade. But the big problem was that I just could not reach him in the back line, and he was stealing my BF sword and Doran's blade. I actually want to say he stole both BF swords. And then he played Holy Trinity Force twice and kept it on one of his Ashan, so it just made him just go up in points like fast. But yeah, no answer to that, so that's something that did not work on this deck. And then the second match was against a Viktor, and I did not capture any videos for that because Viktor, the person piloting Viktor was a kid, so I did not feel comfortable recording video, and it's just a 10-year-old or probably younger, maybe 8. But that kid was good. He just kept spamming recruits, just recruits and recruits. I was hoping to get Cannon Barrage or Flurry of the Blade so I could just wipe out all his recruits. And he also played Vanguard Armory twice, so one on each round. But yeah, so just so many recruits left and right. I was able to take care of his units here and there, but I just did not have an answer, dealing with all those recruits and Hermdinger, I forgot what his name is, where he could replicate any gear unit and abilities, and man, it was just tough. It was still close. I had one round where I lost 7-8, and it was down to the last battle, and I had the 7. He had to catch up from 4, but when he caught up, and I just could not hold on to my battlefields. So that was rough. Anyways, I learned that this deck needs improvement, and just like any deck, it needs improving. And you play games, and through playing games, you find out what's working and what's not working. So this is the third iteration of what I'm gonna do with this deck. I now have a sideboard, which is pretty nice, and basically it's not a true sideboard, but more like cards I may put in or not put. The Warmog's armor is nice, but at the same time lacking. So I pulled it from the main deck, and placed it into my sideboard. I brought back Death Grip because I felt like first punch is not always the answer, especially if I don't have the runes. I also switched from 7-5 ratio to an 8-4 ratio with more body. And I placed in Blood Money. blood money just so I could wipe out units, and also brought in Yone. Like I said, I was having a hard time dealing with the backline, so hopefully Yone could do that if my vengeance or hidden blade cannot solve that. Well, yeah, and yeah, I picked up Sett too. So I wasn't planning on picking up Sett. Sett just happened to be at the game store, and he was sitting about $50 for a little bit, or 40 to 50, and stayed at around 50 for a while. But picked him up for about 32. So I did not mind paying that, but I don't think I'll pick up another one. So I think this will be my one and only Sett. We'll see. I say that now, but we shall see. Yeah, so blood money. Oh, I also placed in trusty Ram Hound. With that, I honestly do not have a problem with a first round and second round draw with low cost cards. I think Pit Rookie and Unsung Hero came up often. Lucian came up often, which was pretty nice. But I feel like when I was playing Viktor, I was having a hard time getting mighty. So I was getting mighty units mighty, but at the same time struggling a bit. That's why I'm taking out the Warmark's armor. Fiora recycles a lot of runes, and hopefully with the trusty Ramrod, I won't be burning a rune just to equip the Warmark's armor. But we shall see how that goes. I don't know if it's a good play. I don't know if it's a good addition or not, but we shall see. I'll play this online a few times and see how it goes. So yeah, that trusty Ramrod's something in question, but I do look forward to having Yone in the deck and the blood mini. Yeah, because there were times when I had punch first in my hand, but not enough runes to play it. So overall, my first Nexus Night was a great experience. I went in nervous, not knowing anyone, and I left with a smile on my face. It was a great experience. I learned a lot, got humbled with my deck, which I kind of was expecting. My deck's not that great, but I made connections with people, made friendships, starting new relationships with people. So I think overall that's the best thing, being part of a community, getting to know people. And, it's one to trade war stories with. Anyways, how was your first game night at a local game store? Did you had the same nervousness like me? Was it more of a first date feeling than a game night feeling? And if you haven't been thinking about going to a game night for your first time, you should, because what's there to lose? You're gonna more than likely lose some games. You might win some, but overall, you are gonna gain a great experience. So yeah, like I said, if you haven't been to a game night, to a game store, it's something you should do. If I know it's not always a close one to where you live, but if you can make it, you should. All right, guys, that's it for the video. You guys take care, and until next time, you guys take care.